You can approach these different ways. You can find a common denominator and do different things with it. One might want to find a common denominator, get them all to be the denominator, and then cancel that denominator. Another idea might be to find the common denominator and eliminate all denominators. That's the approach I'm going to take. The common denominator, if you remember that this is an over 1, is any combination that gives you x and 4x and 1. Well, 4x pretty much covers it. You find a 4x and there's 1, 2, 3 different terms, 2 of which have a fraction. If I multiply through the equation, both sides of the equation, by 4x, all the way through, 4x times that, 4x times this, and 4x times the other, my denominators are going to go away, and I'm going to have a simpler equation that I can just kind of combine together. Okay? Now when I can multiply this times this, before I multiply, I'm going to reduce. That goes away. So does that. I'm still left with a 4 times this. Let me do that. 12x plus 12 equals. Well, this doesn't have a denominator to reduce, so I'm just going to multiply 4x times 4. Well, that's a 16x. Minus. That's still a minus. That's still going to be the same. The nice thing about this one is the denominator completely cancels. But be very careful. My people, keep in mind, there is a parentheses around here that you need to keep track of. When you're subtracting a parentheses, you should really change it to plus whatever the opposite of everything in the parentheses is. So I'm going to change that to a -3. I'm changing that to a +2. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. Well, I only have those like terms. 16x minus 3x. That's 13x on this side, plus 2. The other side, I have a 12x plus 12. Well, if I'm solving for x, let's get all my x's on one side. I'm going to take 12 away from both sides. Conveniently enough, minus 12 here. That goes away. I mean, kind of goes away. I'm down to x. So I'm going to move the equation up over here. I've got a 12 equals x plus 2. Subtract the 2, and I get x equals 10. Over here, if I do the same thing, I look and see what can I do to eliminate 2's and x's and 4's. Well, a 4 is going to get rid of 4's and 2's, and 1x is going to be enough to get rid of everything else. So I'm going to multiply everything through by a 4x. 4x there. There's 3 terms here, here, and here, separated by pluses and minuses. I'm going to put a 4x there. I'm going to put a 4x over here. If you find that common denominator that all 3 of them will evenly go into, you wipe them out by multiplying each term by that common denominator. Watch what happens. These are gone. 4x over 4x is 1. So I've got a 1 times the 3x minus 10 equals. 2 goes into 4 twice. I'm left with that 2, that x, and I multiply it by the 1. Okay, no biggie, 2x. This is a minus. We'll get to that in this, well, minus, got to it. 2x goes into 4x 2 times. The x's cancel and 2 goes into 4 twice. So that minus is applied to this 3 times 2. I'm going to take away 6. Okay. Again, down to this, subtract 2x from both sides because that's gone. Now we have an x. Minus 10 equals -6. Add 10 to both sides, and you get x equals 4.